this one is definitely one that people want to hear. The _Jen says, how do we Hawaiians that no longer live in Hawaii continue to live our Hawaiian lifestyle?
Hey, you know, a'ohe paukaike I ka halau ho'okahi, right?
Polole.
And so there are a lot of schools of thought around this. Yeah, I just stick to the basics. One, just to always be a haumana of Ike Hawaii and Mo'olelo Hawaii. Because if the consciousness is Hawaii, then wherever you go, you are Hawaii. Yeah? And so this is an easy way to reconnect in what you do because everybody is able to read a book. Two, the Keep It Aloha podcast has been having some hammers on top of this, right? So it's a process of learning, to grow, to apply yourself. But in like key ways that is practical and active. Like for me, how I reconnected to like things Hawaii is for the past maybe 3 to 5 years is to chant. I love Oli. So I've been a haumana in this aspect of art form and just aspects of pule and protocol for the past 6 years. And so to just apply yourself in Oli, because how we chant as Kanaka is unique in the scope of all of the other cultures in the world. Everybody's unique. But when you hear a Hawaiian Oli, you just know that Baga give you empowerment. Like the ho'omana is real. Yeah, why? Because our kupuna speak through us in our leo. And if you can try to speak like your kupuna, right, it just activates everything, right? And so it brings back to speaking is to study Olelo Hawaii. If you can learn and just ho'oma'a makolelo Hawaii, just practice to have understanding of phrases, of terms, to head on YouTube. There are full classes that teach you Olelo Hawaii that you can do anywhere around the world. So this helps. The biggest thing in reconnection is to overcome the own historical hurt and trauma that we've experienced to not choose ourselves. That's what I feel is one of our biggest obstacles. Like even for me as a Kanaka, I grew up in one Hawaiian ohana. I kind of explained this in our first episode.
Episode 66.
Who didn't really do too much Hawaiian, who did Hawaiian things, but not always the Hawaiian way. Yeah. So we always had a connotation and a worldview that was Western. I never knew anything outside of that. But I got exposed to like different programs, different kumus, hula, oli, on how to mahi'ai. And these were all key pathways of understanding Hawaii. And when we understand Hawaii, it's easier to understand ourselves as po'e Hawaii. As po'e Hawaii. Because he Hawaii mako.
Aye.
Yeah, and he Hawaii kako. And so that was a crucial thing because a majority of the time, if you have the courage to take the first step, just the courage, to get the courage is the hardest part. Because as all indigenous people, all Aboriginal people, our people have been through it. So how we see ourselves, in the confidence in how to see ourselves as Kanaka, is a challenge for a lot of Hawaiians, especially if you're not in the piko, to be here in Hawaii. Yet, I've learned this, kako. In our kupuna's generation, in statehood, pre-statehood, everybody, our kupuna were educated to think being Hawaiian is a hindrance and a liability to society. That lives in us. Yeah? This is an unfortunate truth and reality, kako. Yeah? This is a byproduct of imperialism, the like infiltration of the principles and values of things in the Western world to Hawaii, but specifically in the process of Americanization, the Patriotic Act. This was huge on us and our kupuna. Our kupuna live in us. So if our kupuna had not healed all of that eha, it still lives in us, guys. Yeah. So you and I, we all gotta understand that. Yeah. And that's a hidden fear that is unconscious. So meaning, in like human behavior means basically we don't even understand that exists in us because it's so deeply embedded and integrated because of our kupuna's DNA, the like image and identity of what being Hawaiian meant 100 years ago is much different than what it means to be Kanaka today. Yeah. And so to be Hawaii, to choose Hawaii, but to know this, being Hawaii is an asset, not a liability. You go around the world and tell somebody that you from Hawaii, what happened? And no matter if you Kepani, you Pake, you Korean, you Haole, or you Po'e Kanaka. You go Spain, you go Asia, you go anywhere in the States. People hear you from Hawaii. All of a sudden, they put you on top on higher echelon. Why? Because people's idea of what Hawaii is this place that is mystical and whatnot, but also people understand that the people of Hawaii are also very, very special. We as Kanaka have a different ano, a different mana. I've been to many cultures, as you have as well, bro. Us as Kanaka, we just diff Hawaiian. We just diff. Yeah, we go anywhere, Kanaka. People like be Hawaiian. Why? Because it's special to have an engagement with this spirit that is not ours. It's Hawaii. I attribute that whole spirit and mana to Hawaii. So choosing to be Kanaka is important. Choosing to see yourself, to just go on the journey. Everybody begins a ho'okele va'a at the beach, Hawaiian. At the Kahakai. You begin your ho'okele to Tahiti right over your Hakipu, Hawaiian. Yeah? So take your time, sail, but keep sailing. Keep sailing. If you have some, kind of little bit of ups and downs because high waves, a couple of brothers of mine, ho'okele, they say, brah, stay middle of the ocean, no can see nothing, 30-foot swells. Hopefully, a person on the ho'okele journey to Ike Hawaii is not going to hit 30-foot swells, but, yeah, you keep going. You just holomua kako. And to know that being Hawaii is an asset, to see yourself as an asset. This not being high maka maka. Because could easily go to your head with a lot of Hawaiians having degrees, doing this kind of stuff. They get high maka maka. Like that, yeah? That good, has its time and place, But we, as Hawaii, if you choose to see yourself as Kanaka Hawaii, this is how and who I am and how I exist. And I'll prove it to myself through unlocking all of these really access and pathways to being Hawaii authentically. It's going to take time, but you believe in yourself. So so it's important to have a higher purpose and koleana in mind. For me, is to ensure that all of my kiki, all the mo'opuna who come after me, is going to be Hawaii from the jump. From the jump. Why? Because our household, olelo Hawaii, Ike Hawaii, paintings of our kupuna, understanding our mo'okua, who we come from. How? If people ask you who you come from and where you come from, you can say it with confidence because you've been there, you've lived there. Or if you haven't lived there, but all of your kupuna live there and you step foot on that aina, you know what that mana is. It's easy to speak that if it's embodied in your consciousness and in your pu'uwai. And then you let Akua do the work. Because Akua going to start opening up the doors because you begin to become and to live more authentically aligned with who you really are. Because they try to actually educate us out of our own selves. This is a time where you can educate yourself back to yourself. It's nobody else's koleana.
Yeah.
You can do mine.
Yep. And just to add to that,
please,
you don't have to try to impersonate somebody who you think is Hawaiian just to feel more Hawaiian. Like, we are different people, Elijah and I don't need to, I don't feel the need to have to oli or wear malo to feel like secure in my Hawaiian, to feel in, as a Kanaka.
Yeah.
I do things in my own Hawaiian way,
Yeah.
you know? And we're still Hawaiian.
And
we're still
each
Kanaka.
pathway is different, right? And so it's, I can also encourage to keep away from being a copycat, because, you kind of have imposter syndrome if you do that.
Yeah.
But to use people as models to what connects to you most.
Exactly.
Because there are Kanakas of all different spectrum. Could have Kanakas in construction who can piha makaolala Hawaii. Baga work in Great Pacific. All good. But he good Hawaii. You may be like work construction and be like that Kanaka. He just as Kanaka as the Kanaka who in the Lo'i. Just as Kanaka as the Kanaka who can speak Olelo Hawaii. Only half. But he's on their journey. But use people as a model to how you can embody who you are to potentially help you to become closer to who you want to be.
Oh, beautiful.